Welcome to BHPR's Performance Management Handbook, BPMH training for the BHPR Annual Performance Report. This lesson covers the data entry process using the Excel upload feature for CE1. It will also cover functionality for addressing business rule validation errors due to incorrect or insufficient data. Note, there are 4 forms that use the Excel upload process, and they are IND-GEN, IND-FAC, IND, INT-PRAC, CE1, CE-TTY, EXP1A, EXP1B, IND-GEN, EXP. Select the View More link to access instructions for operating the page. There will be a description and additional information available for each form required for your specific program. The EHBs provides important information such as due in, the number of days remaining to submit, and the status of each form. Click the Expand button to expand the left side navigation menu. Note, this menu collapses by default to allow you more room to work on your forms. Click the Collapse button to hide the left side navigation menu. Note, you can expand or collapse the menu to easily navigate between performance data forms. The CE1 page appears back to its original size. Click the Resources link to view the list of resources available. We will now demonstrate the functionality for the Excel upload process using the CE1 form as an example. Note, it is recommended that you download the program manual before completing this form. Note, it is essential that you save the Excel template to your computer. The EHBs will allow for an upload of a saved Excel file only. Click the Download Template button to begin the process. Select the Save As menu option and save the CE1 template to your computer. The Save As window opens. Save the file wherever is convenient for you on your computer. Click the Save button. Click Open to open the Excel file in edit mode for data entry. The Microsoft Excel file name opens. Navigate to the Instructions tab if your file does not open here automatically. Please read these instructions carefully. They will help you understand how to complete the CE1 data and CE-TTY sub-data sheets of this template. There are 3 types of fields in this template. The first is described here and is a standard data entry field. The second field is described as a single select field. This means there will be a drop-down menu where you can select one option. The third type of field is described as a multi-select field. This means you will be able to create a list using codes found on the Multi-Select Legend tab. This is an example of how data entry will work in a multi-select field. Note, on the CE1 and CE-TTY data entry sheet, the multi-select fields are highlighted gray in color. Please review the guidelines section of this page. Important information has been provided for completing the CE1 and CE-TTY sheets. Click the Multi-Select Legend tab. This tab contains all the multi-select data. Note, you are encouraged to print this page prior to doing data entry. This will prevent you from having to flip back and forth between pages. You will need to click the Enable Editing button before you can do any data entry. Select the CE1 tab to begin the data entry process. As mentioned at the beginning of this lesson, this is a demonstration of functionality. Certain data fields may be skipped during the process of completing this form. If your program requires you to complete CE1, you must complete all the appropriate data entry fields. Click the Educational Offering Title field and begin entering your course information. Note, this is an example of functionality. Your specific data may be different. Select the Course Accreditation drop-down. Select the appropriate choice. Select the Primary Education Offering Topic drop-down menu. Click the appropriate choice. Select the Secondary Educational Offering Topic drop-down menu. Click the appropriate choice. Select the Partners Leveraging Multi-Select field. Use the printed multi-select legend to enter specific codes that are applicable for your program. If you have not printed this page, go to the Multi-Select tab at the bottom of the spreadsheets to find the applicable codes. Enter all the codes that are applicable using a comma separator with no spaces. Example, 40, 50, 60 with no spaces. Note, if only one code is applicable, just enter the one value. Note, all multi-select fields are highlighted in gray. Enter the code. Select the Interprofessional Interdisciplinary Education drop-down menu. Click the appropriate choice. If the answer to Interprofessional Interdisciplinary column H is yes, you must list all the codes for the disciplines represented in column I. This is a multi-select column, and therefore you must follow the process mentioned earlier to enter all the discipline codes applicable. Select If Yes, list the discipline represented multi-select field. Enter the codes. Note, if you are entering multiple codes, create a comma-separated list with no spaces as demonstrated above. Select the Hours of Instruction per Offering field. Enter the hours of instruction per offering as a numeric value. Enter the delivery mode multi-select codes as we have previously demonstrated. Note, all multi-select fields function the same regardless of form or column. Select Faculty Development Training drop-down menu. Click the appropriate choice. Enter the total trainees as a numeric value. Enter the number of trainees applied for training to national certification or continuing education requirements as a numeric value. Complete one row for each course. When you have completed your data entry, save your work. Once all your data entry is complete for CE1, you will need to complete CE-TTY if it is required for your program. We will now demonstrate the functionality for completing the CE-TTY form for the spreadsheet. Click the CE-TTY tab. The CE-TTY sheet appears. This is a smart spreadsheet, meaning the list of courses you created on CE1 will appear here as a drop-down list. Select Educational Offering Title drop-down to begin entering your course information. Note, this is an example of functionality. Your specific data will be different. Click the course for data entry. Note, this list of courses is pulled from the CE1 form you completed. Select Trainee Profession Type drop-down. Scroll to find the profession type. Make your selection. Select the Trainee Employment Location drop-down. Scroll to find the correct location. Click the location. Select the Number of Trainees field and enter the correct number. Follow the same process to enter data for all the courses that are applicable to your program. Note, please make sure to save your Excel file for each row to prevent loss of data. When you have finished your data entry, save and close the file. Click the Save button. Click the Close button. Click the Attach File button to begin the file upload process. This is the first step in uploading your data into the EHBs. Click the Browse button. The Windows Choose File to Upload window opens. Navigate to the file location and select the file from the folder. Click the Open button. Click the Attach button. The CE1 page appears with the data file uploaded. Click the Process Data button. This step is the step that will upload your data from the spreadsheet template to the EHBs. Without this step, your data will not be imported into your CE1 form. The Message from Web Page window opens with a confirmation message. Please read the message carefully. Click the OK button to complete the data upload. The CE1 page appears. The data has been uploaded to the table below. Please review the data for accuracy. Verify the data has been uploaded. Click the Save and Validate button. Note, validation checks will be run using the data you entered in your setup data forms. The CE1 validation summary appears, displaying all the errors that occurred during the data entry and validation process. The warning message informs you that the data has been saved, but the form is not complete. You must address all the errors to complete the form. Note, there are two options to fix the errors. Option 1, fix the errors in the form. Option 2, fix the errors in the Excel file. This section of the page will display all the validation errors found during the Save and Validate process. Each row will contain details about each specific error and how to correct the errors. You may choose to fix the errors using the Fix in CE1 menu option. This will require you to make corrections using the CE1 manual entry process. It is highly recommended that you reopen the completed Excel spreadsheet, correct all errors, and re-upload the file. We will now demonstrate this process for correcting errors. To begin the process of correcting your errors, you will open your completed Excel file. Note, you need to view the list of errors found during validation, so you should either print the page for reference or remain on this page until the errors are corrected. Once your Excel file is open, you may begin correcting the errors one at a time. Note, each error is listed separately on the CE1 validation summary page. Use the Alt plus Tab buttons on your keyboard to go back and forth between your Excel spreadsheet and the CE1 validation summary page. Find the first error to be corrected in the Excel file. Note, in this example, row 1 requires data entry for number of offerings. Scroll the spreadsheet to find the first error listed. Click in the number of offerings field. Enter the data required. Use the Alt-Tab buttons on your keyboard to go back to the CE1 validation summary page to find the next error. Find the second error to be corrected in the Excel file. Use the Alt plus Tab buttons on your keyboard to go back to your Excel spreadsheet. Note, in this example, row 2 requires data entry correction. One data entry field is higher than the total field. Scroll to the second error listed on the CE1 validation summary page. This is the second error listed. Correct the data in the number of trainees applied training to National Certification or Continuing Education Requirements field. Note, as described in the CE1 validation summary page, this number cannot exceed the total number of trainees. Use the Alt plus Tab buttons on your keyboard to go back to the CE1 validation summary page to find the next error. Find the third error to be corrected in the Excel file. Use the Alt plus Tab buttons on your keyboard to go back to the Excel spreadsheet. Note, in this example, row 4 requires data entry. A list of disciplines must be selected if the previous column is yes. Scroll to the third error listed on the CE1 validation summary page. This is the third error listed. Data is missing from the If Yes, list the disciplines represented multi-select field. Note, as described in the CE1 validation summary page, codes are required if you selected Yes in the previous field. Note, this is a multi-select field. Remember to list all the appropriate codes in a comma-separated list with no spaces. Once you have corrected all the errors identified on the CE1 validation summary page, save and close the file. You will then re-upload the file and reprocess the data. Click the Save button. Click the Close button. Click the Go to Previous Page button to reload the spreadsheet and reprocess the data. The CE1 page appears. Before you can re-upload your corrected spreadsheet, you will have to delete the currently loaded spreadsheet. Click the More Actions button to open the menu. Select the Delete menu option. Click the Attach File button to begin the process of uploading the corrected spreadsheet. Click the Browse button. The Choose File to Upload window opens. Navigate to the folder and select the corrected file. Click the Open button. Click the Attach button to attach the new file. The CE1 page appears with the corrected data file. Note, the old data still appears in the table below. To complete the process, you must click the Process Data button again to reprocess the data file. Click the Process Data button. The Message from Web Page window opens. Please read all messages carefully. Click the OK button to proceed. The CE1 page appears. You have successfully processed the data with your corrections. Note, since your corrections have been uploaded, you will now go directly to Save and Validate. Select the Save and Validate button. Note, if no other validation errors are found, you will be taken to the CE2 form automatically. The CE2 page appears for continued data entry. No other validation errors were found. Note, the left side menu shows CE1 as complete. Thank you for taking the time to complete this training session. Suggested next steps. Review for the following. Performance Data Excel Upload Part 2. This session demonstrates how to use the INDGen form. This data entry process is different from the CE1 process. Completing performance data. This session covers the functionality for completing forms with the normal data entry process. When you have finished the training, close the browser window or tab.